What's happening, good people? My name is Doug, and this is Thaber Media. Hope everybody had an awesome kickoff to the new year. So, what I want to do today is get right into things and talk to you guys about AI being used to write novels. Now, what I've found here is something called Super Synapse. It is from a group called Synaptic Labs. It is a very cool GPT. I found it incredibly useful for creating prose and writing because I've struggled with the AI writing. I know a lot of people are like, you just push a few buttons, it's not really writing, and it'll come up with a story. I've even dabbled with that some on the channel here in the past, but it never's really quite worked out. And I've discovered it takes a lot of massaging, and there is a group of folks out there on the internet who are AI authors. They're making some very interesting works with this stuff. And I've spent the past couple of weeks experimenting with it, created a few of my own GPTs, some prompts, worked through some things, and this I came across as a very useful tool. So having said that, I want to jump into this. I've already got it pulled up here. You can see it's Super Synapse, a transparent conductor of expert agents, which is exactly what it is. So you can click on Start here, and it's going to go ahead and launch. Hello, I'm Professor Synapsis from Synaptic Labs. Tell me, friend, how can I help you? I will summon a partner, and together we will accomplish your goals. Perfect. I'm going to click on Synaptic Labs and take you guys over to this. I'll put a link in my descriptions down below for these folks because this is, I think, a very amazing tool. Okay, so what I'm asking it to do here is generate a basic 3-act chapter outline using Dan Harmon's story circle for the following plot synopsis. And then I take off in the plot synopsis here. So here's what's going to happen first of all. It's going to start analyzing all this. You'll see it kick in here and it starts thinking about it. This GPT will take a little bit longer to fire off things and start looking and generating your responses, but it's because it's thinking. It's also my understanding it may take a few more tokens than a normal GPT, which means you're going to hit your limit a little bit quicker, but in the end, I think it's worth it. Check this out. It's looked at things here and it's already deciding what to do. It's popped up and now here it is actually thinking. Usually this code box, you won't see it. Here's what it wants to do. Here's how it's going to do it. Here's what's going on. See, it's summoned an expert because it's asking, let's start with Act 1, focusing on the setup and inciting incident. How would you like Dragonbone's ordinary world to be depicted? It can decide. I'm just going to let it run wild with this and let's see what we get. Boom. Dives right into it. Act 1, exciting incident. In the shadowed alleys of urban fantasy city Valadon, Dragonbone Johnson, a half-dragon, half-human enforcer for the ruling 4 elemental families, sees his life take a dramatic turn when the Earth family's Dawn is murdered and he is wrongly accused. Dragonbone Johnson, a half-dragon, half-human enforcer, is introduced in the gritty urban fantasy setting of Valadon. He is shown navigating the complex power dynamics of the 4 elemental families, enforcing their will but feeling disconnected from both humans and magical beings. But I want story beats. So, copied that and pasted that in. Generate 8 detailed story beats for Chapter 1. It's really kind of scary. It's amazing, but it's also kind of scary. And here are my 8 beats, like it was nothing. And these are nice detailed beats. These are nice meaty beats to start with. Chapter 1 opens with a rich atmospheric description of Valadon at dusk. So first of all, I'm going to copy and paste, and it's a rather long prompt, so I'm going to copy and paste it in. It is a custom prompt that I created with multiple steps. And I'm going to go ahead and just copy beat 1 here. Copy. And I've got a place here to insert the story beat. So that I will do right here. Sometimes Chat GPT can get a little chatty, a little wordy, a little wacky with the language. So this prompt I created, ask it to generate exactly 10 paragraphs, which it won't do, but asking it to generate paragraphs instead of words, I've noticed will get your word count up and you'll get closer to your desired goal. With this, I'm asking for 10 paragraphs. I might get 6, but it's going to be a decent amount of words. Ask it to be specific with precise descriptions. Also give it examples. I've noticed that this helps if you actually give examples to the AI to make it understand what you're specifically looking for. I'm trying to give it enough instructions that I can get a decent paragraph or 2 or 3 or 4 without having to go back in, because like I said before, you're going to have to go back in and tweak a lot of this. You're going to have to go in and massage these. It's really not a process where you just let the machine go and then go back and say, okay, I'm just sitting back with my arms folded, I'm not doing anything, and I just made a book. That's not the way you can novel craft with AI. I'm going to go ahead and hit generate here, and we're going to see what this comes up with. Super Synapse is looking at everything I've just given it, because I did give it a pretty meaty and detailed prompt. So it's going to have to go through and analyze the prompt, look at what I'm asking for, try and figure out the best way to do that. And again, this isn't what your regular GPT, if you just dump this stuff into GPT-4 or even GPT 3.5, it's not going to do all these steps. Excellent. Let's breathe life into the world of Valadon at dusk. I'll craft prose for beat 1, focusing on vivid and atmospheric descriptions of the city as per your detailed instructions. It's ready to roll. It wants to know if I am. Let's do this and see what we get now. All right, there you go. You can see it is finished now, and it actually did pump out quite a bit of prose. I got all 10 paragraphs I asked for when I told it to do exactly 10 paragraphs, which is pretty cool. That rarely happens. I can get a higher count, but rarely do I get the full 10. So this is very cool. I've got a lot to work with here now. What I would do now is go back in and start editing this myself, because some of this is probably going to work really well, some of it not at all. Again, these are 10, what am I looking at here? 10 paragraphs. May need to cut this down some. I'd always much rather have too much than not enough, though, so this is pretty cool to work with. What do we have here? As the sun dipped below the horizon, Valadon's silhouette emerged, cloaked in the hues of twilight. The city, a kaleidoscope of ancient magic and modern ambition, began its nightly transformation. Streets, once bathed in the golden glow of daylight, now flickered with the neon lights of enchantments. I like that. And the softer glow of street lamps. The air, crisp and cool, carried the murmurs of a city in flux, a symphony of hushed tones and distant laughter. This does a really good job of laying out what the city's about. And remember, all I did to start with was give it this synopsis here. That's where we started with, that paragraph there, which has now got us an outline to go by using a 3-act structure. And I have the first 8 beats of my first chapter. I'm kicking off a story here about Dragonbone Johnson. It is Super Synapse from Synaptic Labs. Check this out. It will help with your writing. So thanks everybody for watching. I hope you found value in this. Don't forget to hit the like button, share this, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. Thanks. Everybody stay awesome and keep making awesome stuff.